On the outskirts of Houston, under the cover of night, thick smoke rises from a burning car. Detective Clark arrives at the scene, the air heavy with the acrid stench of burnt rubber. Inside the wreckage lies a body, charred beyond recognition, featureless, nameless. Police confirm the victim's identity. Mary Henderson Morris, a respected loan officer. No known enemies, no criminal past. But something is strange. Her purse and jewelry are missing, yet the car was left behind, deliberately set ablaze. This isn't a random robbery. Someone wanted to erase the evidence. Detective Lane, Clark's partner, steps forward, flipping through a file. His voice is low, almost hesitant. Clark, there's another murder. The victim's name? Mary Morris as well. A heavy silence falls. Two women, same name, same city, murdered just 4 days apart. The second victim, Mary McGinnis Morris, was found in her car too, but this time shot in the head. No robbery, no struggle, only her missing wedding ring. As Clark processes the bizarre coincidence, a newspaper headline flashes across the screen. They got the wrong Mary Morris. One chilling message. No known sender. But its implications are terrifying. Clark turns to his partner, his eyes sharp with determination. We start with the families. Someone out there knows the truth, and we're going to find them. Detective Clark stands outside a modest suburban home, the porch light flickering slightly in the evening breeze. He exhales, glancing at his partner Lane before knocking on the door. A few seconds pass before J. Morris, husband of Mary Henderson Morris, opens it. His eyes are red, his face unshaven, the weight of grief evident in every exhausted movement. "Detective," he mutters, stepping aside to let them in. Inside, the air is thick with the scent of stale coffee and sleepless nights. Clark and Lane take seats across from Jay, who rubs his temples, his voice shaking slightly. "I don't understand any of this. Who would want to hurt Mary?" Clark pulls out his notepad. His voice is steady but firm. "That's what we're here to find out. Did Mary mention anything unusual before her death? Anything that made her uneasy?" Jay hesitates. His fingers tap anxiously against the wooden table. "There was a phone call, about a week before she died. I answered, and all I heard was heavy breathing. Then the caller hung up." Clark and Lane exchange glances. "Did she receive other strange calls?" Clark asks. Jay shakes his head. "Not that I know of. But after what happened, I keep wondering if that call meant something." Lane, who has been silently observing, finally speaks. "Do you know if your wife ever crossed paths with Mary McGinnis Morris?" Jay frowns. "No, not that I'm aware of." He pauses. "But there was a mix-up once. A pharmacy called about a prescription for Mary Morris. It wasn't hers. I didn't think much of it at the time." Clark leans back slightly. Two women, same name, same city. Someone got the wrong Mary. But was it a mistake? Or something much worse? Clark and Lane step outside into the cool night air. The streets are quiet, but their minds are racing. Lane lets out a slow whistle. What are we thinking? Mistaken identity? Or a deliberate hit gone wrong? Clark's jaw tightens. We need to talk to Mary McGinnis Morris' husband next. If this wasn't random, then someone wanted one of them dead, and we need to find out who. Detective Clark and his partner Lane pull up to a large suburban house. The atmosphere is tense. This isn't just another witness. They are about to question Mike Morris, the husband of the second victim, Mary McGinnis Morris. Clark knocks. The door opens slowly. Mike stands there, expression blank, arms crossed, eyes dark and unreadable. He speaks first, voice cold. "I've already told the police everything." Clark steps inside without hesitation. "Then tell us again." The air inside is heavy. Clark takes a seat across from Mike, observing his every movement. Your wife was scared before she died, wasn't she? Mike exhales sharply. His fingers tighten around the arm of his chair. Yeah, she was. She bought a gun. Never wanted one before, but suddenly she needed it. Said someone was watching her. Clark and Lane exchange glances. Who? Mike hesitates. Then finally he mutters a name. Dwayne Young. Dwayne Young, a former colleague of Mary's, fired for harassment, accused of following her. She told me he gave her chills, Mike continues, that he wouldn't leave her alone. When she got him fired, she thought it was over, but she started feeling like someone was always around, watching. Clark jots this down. Did she ever see him again after he was fired? Mike nods slowly. She thought so, a few times, in parking lots outside the grocery store, but she couldn't prove it. Clark's voice lowers. Tell us about the last time you spoke to her. Mike's jaw tightens. He looks away. She called me. That evening. I'll never forget her voice. She was terrified. She said, Mike, someone's here. Then, static. The line went dead. Silence fills the room. The only sound is the faint hum of the refrigerator. Clark leans forward. Did you call back? Of course I did, Mike snaps. She never answered. Back in the car, Lane stares out the window. A stalker, a woman in fear, a husband with secrets. What do you think, Clark? Clark grips the steering wheel, his mind racing. I think we're closer to the truth. But something's still off. Lane raises an eyebrow. What do you mean? Clark exhales. Dwayne Young had a reason to hurt Mary McGinnis Morris. But what about Mary Henderson Morris? Why would she die? The pieces of the puzzle still don't fit. But Clark knows one thing. This isn't over. Not even close. Detective Clark sits in a dimly lit office, staring at the evidence board. 2 faces, 2 names, 1 mistake. A recording device clicks. A distorted voice plays. They got the wrong Mary Morris. Clark rewinds, plays it again, and again. The voice is masked, gender unclear, but the message is chilling. Someone knows the truth. Lane enters, dropping a report onto the desk. We trace the call. Clark's eyes narrow as he scans the report. The call came from a burner phone, purchased just days before the first murder. No registered owner, no credit card transactions. A dead end. Whoever made this call planned ahead, Lane mutters. Clark rubs his chin. Or they wanted us to think it was a mistake. Clark leans back in his chair, thinking out loud. Let's say the first murder was a mistake. That means someone ordered a hit on one Mary Morris. But the wrong one died. Lane nods. Right? And if that's true, Clark finishes his sentence, the second murder was intentional, to cover up the first. A heavy silence fills the room. Clark grabs a marker and draws a line between the 2 Mary Morrises. Then he writes 2 names beneath them. Dwayne Young, the stalker. Mike Morris, the grieving husband. 2 potential suspects. But only one hired a hitman, Clark says. Lane frowns. And what if we're missing something? What if there's someone else? Clark exhales. Then we need to make someone talk. The next morning, Clark and Lane stand outside a rundown apartment complex. Inside waits the one person who might have answers. Dwayne Young. Clark knocks. The door creaks open. Dwayne stands there, eyes dark, lips pressed tight. We need to talk. Dwayne sighs. I figured you'd come. Clark steps inside, gaze locked on him. Then you know why we're here. Dwayne Young sits across from Detective Clark, his fingers tapping against the wooden table. His face is blank, unreadable. Clark leans forward, voice steady but firm. We know you were involved. The phone call, the threats. Tell us what happened. Dwayne exhales, rubbing his temples. Then finally he speaks. I was hired. Clark's grip tightens around his pen. By who? Duane hesitates. Then, in a whisper, he says, Mike Morris. Clark and Lane exchange sharp glances. Mike Morris, the grieving husband, wasn't grieving at all. He wanted Mary dead, Duane continues, but not Mary Henderson Morris. The other one. His wife. Lane's voice is low, controlled. So you followed the wrong Mary? Duane nods slowly. I was given a name. No photo, no details, just Mary Morris. I tracked her, waited for the right moment. I thought I had the right one. Clark's voice is ice cold. You killed an innocent woman by mistake. Duane looks away. By the time I realized, it was too late. Clark's mind races. The first murder was a mistake, but the second... Mike had to fix it, Duane mutters, so he made sure his wife died next. That's why the crime scenes looked different. He wanted it to seem random. Clark grips the table. And the phone call? The one to the Chronicle? Duane shrugs. Wasn't me. Maybe Mike wanted to throw you off. Clark stands abruptly, chair scraping against the floor. Lane follows. Let's go, Clark says, determination burning in his eyes. Lane nods. Time to pay Mike Morris a visit. 1 week later, a news report plays. In a shocking turn of events, Mike Morris has been arrested for orchestrating the murder of his wife, Mary McGinnis Morris, and indirectly causing the death of Mary Henderson Morris. The case, once considered an eerie coincidence, is now solved. Clark watches the screen, arms crossed. Another case closed. Another truth uncovered. But in his mind, one question lingers. What if the wrong Mary wasn't the only mistake?